Welcome to Sports Scope, the most influential sports talk show in the nation. Stay tuned for updates and great sports content.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports Scope. I'm your host, Robert Butler. Got Carlos, Mad New Yorker Chavez backstage. Going to ask him about this big price hike, 38%. For Mets tickets next year. So it looks like paying for some of those failed free agents and whatnot. Going to go over Caitlin Clark. I'm going to ask Bad New Yorker what's he think about the Caitlin Clark hike. Thoughts on Justin Fields. You know, he's taking all his he's not following the Bears on social media, Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, and more. So let's go ahead and take our first and only break. We'll be back here in 49 seconds. We'll hit the ground running here on Sports Scope. Hello, Sports Scope followers. The program has seen tremendous growth since going 5 days a week. I just wanted to thank everybody for your cash contributions and sharing the program with friends and families. Just a reminder, if you want to contribute to the program, go to the Cash App, the cash sign, and Sports Scope. There are other ways to contribute to the program listed at the bottom of the screen. If you want to advertise on the program, go to sports, that is sports with an S, another S, scope, SKOPE, at gmail.com, just like it's listed at the bottom of the screen. Thank you and enjoy the program. All righty, back here live with Carlos. Hey, man, how you doing tonight?
What's up, man? Happy Friday night.
Friday at last. If Martin Luther King was here, you know, Black History Month. Hey, yeah, so I heard something on WABC out of New York, man. This guy's a big Mets fan. Sid Rosenberg was talking about the ticket prices are going up 38%. You're a season ticket holder. What have you heard that? Have you got any kind of notification on that? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so that's the news around the area. Aside from the Kodai Senga situation, my thing is that they bring this guy in Stearns.
Now, who is Stearns? Who is this?
Stearns is the new GM, right? So
okay, gotcha.
They brought him in from Milwaukee. Okay, he's been, wheeling and dealing and trying to get things going. The Mets are hurting from last year's signing of Verlander and the fact that that deal didn't work out with what's his name? Anyway,
just free agents in general that are like 40 plus.
the pitching, right? So I think like this, and if you have something on the field that's worth the snuff, that's up to snuff, and it's worth the mustard, then fine, it's okay. Charge the fan base because they're getting something on the field. Yeah, the product is it's going to be worth your while, but it's not fair. And I know it's baseball, but it's not fair for the fans to take the hit on something that didn't work out, even though you're doing it for the fans, right? Yeah, that'd be like me if I had a hot dog stand and I bought cheap hot dogs and I might have sold to 100 people and only 20 people liked it, So then I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna get a new hot dog. I'm gonna get Sabret hot dogs, and I'm gonna up the price, and then in expecting 400 people to buy hot dogs,
that's terrible, ain't it?
Right. So if you're a business, in the business aspect, and if you're talking about business and just not relating it to sports, how about this? How about you give us 30% off of tickets, and then we go and we spend our money over there. And then if you make it to the World Series or even to a playoff, you can hike it back up 20%. Because you don't lose.
It's just a bad look when you're losing. Like there were 12 games under 500 last year.
Yeah, and then they still just started selling off players and trading them off and things like that to alleviate the the pain financially because you're not going to make it to a playoff situation. And the worst part about this situation is like they don't have a team right now that is a product that you could say, let's do this. Let's raise the price 38%.
Yeah.
Right? It would, to me, like I didn't go to Yankee games and I didn't get, and mind you, the season ticket thing that I do it was a gift from my wife. So it's not like I went out on my own and been like, I'm gonna get them tickets. I was doing for the Jets and Giants games and stuff. Like I quit buying tickets for some of these sports because the product's not on the field, people. Like, I as much as I'm a fan, I'll watch it on TV.
Of course, I kind of told you that.
But if
but it's good. You got a son. You will take your son.
Yeah. If it's up to snuff, then I'll do it. Like I wouldn't pay no Yankee ticket. The Yankee tickets are a little bit more steeper, mind you.
What about the bleachers? Do you sit in the bleachers?
No, man, I don't sit up there, man. If I go, I go.
I did $8. I mean, that was back in 2002.
Look, if I go, I want to see the game. I want to enjoy the game, and I'm not gonna be, sitting up high and getting nosebleeds. But I usually try to sit off the third base line or even the first base line, a little bit, just to watch the game a little bit.
Okay.
Enjoy it. Why are you going to spend money?
How much would those tickets cost?
On average, the Yankee games is about 80 to 180
per ticket.
Yeah, depending on depending the closer you are to the first, to the dugout, to the dugout. So, and Mets tickets are a lot less, but that doesn't mean that it's okay to, because you're not just spending money on the ticket, man. You want a T-shirt, you get a hat, hot dogs, beer.
It's expensive, don't it?
Just one mixed drink at Citi Field, one mixed drink is $35.
Oof, yeah. Wow.
So I was like,
I didn't know they even served mixed drinks at Citi Field.
Yeah,
I thought it was just beer.
No, we got the clubs. They got different clubs and everything. So my wife, I was like, we'll go date night once with my wife, and
y'all had a mixed drink for $70.
No kidding, yeah, no kidding, right? So even if we got the good rate of the tickets for the season tickets that we got, and we get a little of a discount, $70, and that's one drink. So I'm not a one drink person. Yeah, my wife was okay with it, but I was like, I'm gonna need something else, right? So. A water bottle is $8 for like a smart water. You don't feel smart buying water over there for $8. I'll tell you that. I'm not. Look, I go and I spend money everywhere in New York because when you go to New York or you go out, you got to spend money.
Everything is steep up there.
But my thing is this: I'm not gonna go and pay money if I don't feel like the product is up to snuff.
Right.
Whether it's a restaurant, whether it's any kind of athletic sporting event or even a concert, if it's not up to snuff, I'm not dropping the bills on it.
What do you think they're trying to do? Are they trying to up their farm system or what? What's the plan for the Mets? What's the buzz on WFAN or whatever?
So what the Mets are doing are like they are considered a rebuild. Regardless of the money, because the situation is this: they've been struggling to rebuild that farm system. But again, if you add,
is that what they're trying to do? I thought that's a good idea to start doing that.
Right. I mean, they last year they got rid of some players. They picked up Acuna Jr.'s brother. They picked up a few other players. They got this. They got a few.
Whose brother?
Acuna.
Oh, Ron Acuna Jr.'s bro. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
So and they got a few guys here and there that are in the top, 100 top prospects.
Okay.
But the idea was to rebuild. But again, everybody's, not just the Mets, everybody's minor league system got contracted last year too. I don't know if people realize that. So now you got to push the people out who you don't think are gonna be up to snuff. Yeah. Right. So that's a struggle too, because you got to move guys around. So the contractual of the minor leagues, I think, has hurt teams like the Mets, where they were just trying to hide players, keep them there long enough to make sure that when they're like 22, 23, they give them a contract, whatever. So even like the Red Sox and those guys, those teams like that, like where they can kind of hold players so they can get a little bit more, more time on the field and stuff. So you can't do that no more. And you shouldn't be doing that anymore. If you got a player, listen, like if you got a player, and I know Major League Baseball don't like to do that, but if you got a player that's hot and he's 19, 20, 21, just put him on the field, man. Give him the time he needs.
Remember when they had Reyes at 20 years old? He was playing a lot, wasn't he?
Yeah. So like even like when the Mets in the 80s, they had Strawberry, he was 19.
Yeah.
Wooden was like 20, maybe a year older.
They always do well when nobody expects nothing of them. They may do well this year.
Yeah, I know, right? But you always want, it's hard to just throw young kids out there, but you want also to have, you want depth, but you want youth as well, because the younger players are less likely to get hurt anyways.
Yeah.
Right. But
they're so eager to play. They got a lot of energy. It's good to have a good chunk of young players,
but like with
that
the
are
Mets,
hungry.
Yeah, with the Mets right now, it's the fact of the matter is that they spent money to try to get a championship and it didn't work. So now
up in your face,
yeah. So now you got to clean up the mess and the shrapnel, and it's a mess. But the worst thing the one thing they did was like, it's they're bleeding and hemorrhaging, and they just put a little Band-Aid on it. And then they're like, we're not going to take them to the doctor. Let's just charge everybody 38% more.
Man. Like, so does your wife, does she get those through her work or something?
No, it was just an idea that she came up with. She knows a lot.
Oh, that was nice of her.
Yeah. So I got a good one.
Are you gonna go to this year, or she haven't talked about it yet?
Yeah. So yeah, we were on tap to maybe even try to go to London before any of this stuff happened. And I don't know. In my mind, I was in.
Go do a game by game basis this year.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, just maybe cutting that out of the budget here, just to do something different. Maybe take my son to hockey games or something different. He loves baseball though, and he got into. It's down the street, like that's another thing. Like, it's down the street from me, so I'm literally.
You can still get those. I mean, I got good seats, man, and it wasn't that expensive going to those Met games back in the day. But that was 20 years ago.
I mean, look. I'm not gonna lie. If you're a season ticket holder,
22 years ago, be honest,
you get a good deal because that's the enticement. But to keep raising the price and having a good deal when the product is not up to snuff, man, it's what it's like. It's like when you watch, like you're like think about it like a little kid. You're excited. Your parents came home from shopping. You open in the box. You think you're eating Honey Nut Cheerios and you're eating the store brand.
Right. Right.
Like you're hungry and
I thought you was going to give like the Christmas analogy where you think like, you're getting a PlayStation and then really it's some old cheap toy.
No. You get it. You get in cereal.
You're getting an Atari.
You get in the cereal, Robert, but you're not getting a General Mills, man.
Give me Kellogg's. Give me General Mills.
Yeah, like you got.
I don't want the cheap stuff. Okay, so. A lot of talk about the All-Star game. Almost 400 points scored. A lot of guys just look like, man, I've seen YMCA pickup games more interesting than the All-Star game. I've had my suggestions on. I had a show dedicated. There's even people like Jason Whitlock, even your guys like Stephen A. Smith's coming out and saying this is over the last 2 years that the NBA has a competition problem. And maybe they should pay players as they go. Like Whitlock said something like maybe just give a guy half his salary. Right. And for each win, you get that much more of the salary. All right. So if you get 30 million, 15 guaranteed, but a portion of that 30 through 82 games, that will go towards every win, kind of incentivizing winning. What's your thoughts about that lackluster All-Star game and that product, man?
Rob, when we talking about this in college, when they had those,
probably did. We talk about stuff like this all the time.
Remember, we were like talking. Remember about Orlando and like, they're struggling and just
they were struggling.
Those players like Vin Baker who had huge contracts, and you're like, come on, kid, remember that when he got, remember, and we were like, Glenn Robinson had like, one good season, and then they gave or 2 good seasons, they gave him a contract, and then we were talking about why,
they hit a spiral there. I think Hardaway was still playing with them.
Remember all those guys?
Who's the other? McGrady. I'm sorry, McGrady.
Jason McGrady. Yeah, remember all those guys were like, they should pay them. They should work. Get paid as they play, pay to play. Because they weren't. It's not that they were bad. It just there was a lot of. That was just a tricky time in the NBA. Remember, that was not.
It was yeah. Well, I mean, I've talked about this the other day. I ain't.
Remember like
punches. I hated that Laker team back in them days. That's back when Kobe and Shaq was on a run.
Yeah, and even before I left to Knoxville, remember I was like, when they drafted Vince, Vince Carter was playing. I was like, Vince Carter's going to be way better than Antoine Jameson. People were like, I don't know, Antoine Jameson this and Antoine Jameson that, and I was like, I don't know, man. That was a good UNC team, but we these are discussions that
Toronto was on a little bit of a run, but I mean, I liked. I was a big AI guy, But the problem is he didn't have any help, and he was a little bit ball-centric, to say the least.
But then we're like, remember, we talked about
at least he played hard every night.
Yeah, but why are you giving Hughes a huge contract? AI's got a huge contract. They're not, they're not killing people left and right, And
he didn't even want to go to practice. We talk about practice, not a game.
Yeah, so now
you would be on board with something like that too. I mean, even got the commissioner talking about how bad that All-Star game was.
But once now the NBA PA is, they're not going to – when they shut the doors on them a few years back, that was bad, the teams. So,
yeah.
They got to be careful how they do this.
I would love for that. I mean, you really got to get away from that LeBron stench. You want to help the players, but it can't be too much of a players-run league where the players don't have any respect for anything. I think it's gotten better. Some of the guys I think the competition, the parity's gotten better. But that All-Star game was so embarrassing. They were showing some highlights. One guy threw the ball barely off the bat. I mean, that looked like me and you at the gym just kind of playing around. I mean, I'm like, God, this is embarrassing, man. Can you imagine Kobe and LeBron at the beginning of LeBron's career when Kobe was very competitive doing? Or what about Jordan and Magic? And Magic, after he got HIV, he was playing hard in that game, man. They were kindly cool, where the NBA was okay with him playing, where he wouldn't be a health risk to everybody. He got the All-Star MVP, and I mean, they were going hard, but it's just gotten so much more lackadaisical. And then LeBron, on top of all that, he takes off yesterday. I was like, dude, you didn't do nothing at All-Star game, but F off.
No, I mean, listen.
Yeah, then you already they didn't give him, 3 days off during the week? They just came back to work yesterday.
There's just so much involved now with the players and the contracts that they have outside the NBA. So that's another reason, too, that you can't just be like, put down the, lay down the hammer on them, because there's so much entailed in that, right? And I think people got mad at him, but I think Barkley he made a point one time this season. He was like, "Oh, by the way, we got a basketball game tomorrow. I don't know if you want to watch it." I don't know if you remember that. It was a few months.
I don't know. Oh yeah, KD gets really heated when Barkley says that stuff.
And he's like, "Yo, I don't know if you want to watch that game, but it's on." And I was like, "Whoa, this guy."
I know, conflict of. I love it. See, that's what I like Barkley at his best. Not when he's placating to the players like that.
Yeah, and then even Shaq was like, "Well, it's like we on this
Chuck.
day."
Come on, Chuck.
Come on, Chuck. Like, everybody got to play a game. He's like, if you want to see this game, you might want to watch something else. I think he said, I'm not sure if you'd rather watch a Netflix game, but we do have a game tomorrow. Something like that.
Man.
And I was like, what? I was looking around like, okay.
This has been a slow sports week. You mentioned Netflix. There's a movie on Amazon. You've probably maybe you've heard of it. It's funny. Don't watch it with the kids. It looks tempting to watch with the kids. It's called Strays, like stray dogs.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, it's fun. It's funny. It's got Will Ferrell and
Kevin,
who was it?
Kevin Hart.
Who?
Kevin Hart.
No, not Hart.
Oh no, it's what's his name?
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx. Right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I was telling a lady at work about it. I said, she's got a daughter. I said, I don't watch it. I said, but the adult humor in it is, I said, it's been such a slow sports week. I actually watched it twice. It's funny.
Because you had to get that Peacock for the football game. So
Yeah, right. So, okay. So that news came out this week. I've had Amazon because I order a lot of crap from Amazon, like this microphone I'm talking to you on. So I got the Amazon Prime, and I got Amazon's getting so greedy. Some of their shows they're showing with ads. So the news broke this week that Amazon's going to do that playoff game. It's not going to be a Peacock. So I'm going to tell you in the audience right now, I'm going to cancel it that month. It's probably going to be a lot of hassle because they're tough at never, by the way, public service announcement. Remember, you still those PSAs at school. Do not order any movies from Amazon.
Wow,
it's too hard. It's too hard to get them. The customer service is terrible. The payment thing is an issue. Just order it through your Xfinity or something. I watched last week. I watched Godfather 2.
You one of those people
forever, dude.
You sound like a Discover commercial. I want to talk to a real person. Like
it was some kind of issue with me paying. I just ordered them. I said I will never ever order a movie from you people. I will order it I will charge my phone and order it to YouTube before I order it to you all again. I'll just charge it to T-Mobile, right? So I'm going to cancel that service, that Prime service, for January to not watch that playoff game because they paid like $150 million for that, by the way.
They've been paying for...
And they want to hit me and you up for it, make me and you stream it. And they're going to put commercials on it. They're hitting us with a double whammy, Carlos.
Everything has commercials now there, Robert. It's just the way of the league. I don't think I've watched anything in the last 10 years that didn't have some kind of sponsorship or commercial.
Right.
To be honest with you. So it's just the way sports business, man. Like,
yeah.
But Amazon's been paying for a lot of NFL, and if I'm Amazon, I'm like, you better give me a better deal because these Thursday football games have been wretched. God,
the games have been bad, and I'm glad that game that the Peacock was bad. It was 28-7, Kansas City. You know,
but that was not Peacock's fault. Peacock and Peacock and Amazon don't play on the football field. They just provide you the service with streaming it, and like we can't get mad at that. We can't get mad at that for them. At them for that. So
yeah. Well, no, bleep them. They don't need to be charging the general public like that, man.
The man said, "Yo, forget about it."
Forget about it. Yeah. So, hey, let me ask you this: what's your thoughts, Justin Fields, unfollowing the Bears? My man, I've been listening to a lot of Mel Kiper here lately.
Why?
Do you think they should keep Fields? There's actually a real debate on whether or not to trade that pick with with Caleb Williams out there.
So what I would do if I'm Chicago, I would trade down.
So you would trade?
Yeah, because I would keep Fields. I don't think Williams is going to be better than Fields.
Okay.
Starting the season, right now I've heard more people who are scouts, not analysts, who are scouts saying that depending on where Caleb Williams goes will depend on whether he's a bust or not. And I'm thinking, okay, I hear this news, I'm reading this stuff, and I'm thinking, well, it depends on where any quarterback goes, whether they'll be a bust or not. So, so that makes sense. But then to say that,
they fired their coordinator and they didn't fire their head coach. And I'm like, I guess because the defense got better, Eberflus's job was safe, but
he's only been there 2 years too. So he's only been there 2 seasons. Let it kind of
marinate a little bit more.
Yeah, and but Chicago's in a great position right now financially. the way the draft is going, all they have to do for that team is to build a little bit depth, right? And I would definitely, if I'm Chicago, I wouldn't move from Fields because who are you gonna get? Like, who are you gonna move on to? Get yourself a running back, maybe someone like Jacobs or Barkley. Solidify that offense a little bit, and then then use the draft to your advantage.
Wow, what if they traded down to like 3 or 4 and got Marvin Harrison?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Then you put him with DJ Moore.
There you go.
They don't really have a lot of holes at this point. Now, me personally, I would draft Williams, but I'm just hypothetically, if you did trade the pick, Mel Kiper's saying you could get a haul because Williams has got a lot of hype. That would be 2 years in a row that they had. Ryan Poles got some really good draft capital there.
And that's the thing, and
hypothetically,
it's just an Instagram account. It's it's a way of saying that he's willing to move. I think And hey, listen, if you're gonna be on Instagram,
I got to follow on Instagram. By the way, I just now saw that.
Yeah, I was like, if you're gonna,
I've been putting more into my Instagram since.
If you're gonna follow and unfollow people,
I'm still in Facebook jail. I think I'm gonna have to start a new Facebook account. Little PSA, another PSA for the audience.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Amazon owns Facebook now.
Amazon?
I'm joshing you, man. I'm just kidding, man.
That would be better than that Zuckerberg. Don't get me started on him.
But yeah, if I'm Chicago, if I'm their GM, I'm ready to like make will and deal because I will stick with Fields because I don't know what's out there and I don't want to be. Uberflus is not going to be developing a quarterback, and no matter who he puts on the staff,
that's it. That's the thing,
He's going to develop a quarterback, and you can. And this division's up for grabs, so just stay with Fields.
Yeah,
grab yourself a Marvin Harrison III and a little bit of more capital on the draft, and you'll be okay. They're not gonna. They will be a better team. They will be better off than if they lose a quarterback. Get a draft like Harrison, not know who's going to throw him the ball, right? Because who's going to throw him the ball. Plus, not for nothing, but the people, the Bears camp, the coaches, the players, they're all like, Justin Fields, he's the man. Like, he's going to get better. Like, and if he's not, why would you want to go away from that? People are talking,
I just don't see it. I've had diehard Bears fan, John Restano. He wants to roll the dice with the Caleb. Remember they passed up on Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, but
guys like Mitch Trubisky.
But look at these. You're talking about these kids, and nobody.
What if they keep Fields over? What if Caleb Williams is a big star?
The what if is not worth the $30-40 million hit that you're going to take for one season.
Well, think about it. You start the clock over. You start the rookie clock over if you take Fields.
Man,
or if you take Caleb Williams. What's Fields in his third year now? Fourth year?
Yeah, but look.
I got to look and see. I think he's in his fourth year, though.
Let's say you keep him and they get in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Then you're going to have to give an extension to Fields. Now,
yeah, that's what you're making my point.
Right. So, no, but listen. But at least you got to the playoffs with Fields. You want to start the time over. Look, the Jets and the Giants have done this.
Well, see, that team is built up, though. That team is built up around them already.
No, I think
a lot of young talent there.
They got talent, but again, you gotta
21, 22, 20. Yeah, this will be year 4. Yeah, his number's going to keep going up too, man.
So you're telling me because this year you're good financially. You don't want to keep Fields because next year financially you might take a hit, but you're in the playoffs, so you made extra money anyways.
I'm saying he's getting a lot of shoulder injuries, and a hurt Fields is part of ability is availability.
I get you, but again, the gamble is bigger trying to score on a top draft pick who has never played in the NFL because the NFL is not.
Plus, there's rumors they may be able to get between a late first and an early second for Fields. Trade Fields. Trade to Strawberry Field to Atlanta or somebody.
Yeah, but okay. So if Atlanta takes the bait,
by the way, Mel Kiper, he's backing off that first round pick crap. He corrected that today. I'm like, okay, Yeah, ain't nobody gonna give you no 8th pick overall for Justin Fields.
Nah,
You're
no,
kidding
no.
me. You're not kidding me.
Maybe a second and a third, but not a first. And
Yeah.
you know why? Do you know why they won't give him a first?
Why is that?
Because of the money. Because what you're talking about. Because this 4th year, they're gonna have to give him. They're gonna have to pay him. Yeah. So, it sucks, man. Because it's not even about his talent anymore. It's about what you owe him. And the Bears are gonna eat that up.
I just don't. Yeah, he's just not catching on, man. But then again, I was really down on Lamar Jackson. He started to come around. What is your thoughts about Baker Mayfield? Now, he was pretty close to comeback player of the year. I'm hearing, this is what I read, the Pro Football Network, that maybe he could get a Geno Smith 3-year, $75 million. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, look.
But do you think that he's going to want like $40 million a year, 5 years after 1 year?
What my thing is this, and then depending on what, if he's willing to stay with Tampa Bay, he's not going to get what he wants. He'll get a deal, but it won't be what he wants or what his agent's asking for. Here's the thing: what does Baker Mayfield want to do? Because if he goes with what his agent wants, which is him to get a longer contract with high-end money up front, that's not going to happen, because he had to play to keep his job as a starter. Like, he had to play up.
Right.
He's
$4 million.
Right. So
that's really what they need to be paying him the rest of the way, but that's not going to be.
No, I know, and this is, it's nothing to take away from him because he's a grinder or his abilities, because he can play. But everybody has a book on him now. Everybody knows where they can disable his actual talent. Right. They know he's not tall, and they know that if they keep him in the pocket, they can smack him up in the face.
He's not tall, and he can't get away.
So he can run and throw the ball. He's good at that. But then again, who's catching the ball? So you can't be any team out there.
That's the second question for you.
Yeah. So
Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer. Mike Evans is 31, though.
Yeah, man.
You're going to pay Mike Evans $25 to $30 million that the rumors are that he wants at 31 years old.
Here's the thing. Even though he's 31, he's had like small minor injuries.
Yeah, he's had that hamstring that keeps bothering him.
But he's been on the field longer than the guy in the Chargers who's getting a ton of money.
Who, Allen?
And
this guy is a
Mike Evans is better than
player.
Keenan.
He's big time.
Yeah, Mike Evans is better than Keenan Allen.
Allen's a better route runner. This guy's a taller player. He's got more
length.
length.
Go catch him. Yeah. So and it depends again who's throwing him the ball is whether you want to pay that fee.
That's a lot of money, man. I'm not going to pay him 30.
Think about that though. There hasn't been, how many seasons has Mike Evans not been in a playoff?
I think he's played 10 seasons.
And like
and I don't know how many games he's missed, but I noticed he's always, now this is what started with Julio Jones, the hamstring. Right. Then as a Titans, you know what happened there? He fell off. I don't know. I may let Evans walk, dude, because those young guys look pretty good for Tampa.
Oh yeah. No, the guys they
in the playoffs they did.
Huh?
In the playoffs, those young guys, I forgot. There was one particular young player that I'd never heard of that really showed out. I think it was like Tyler something. You know what I'm talking about. Well, you picked these guys.
Yeah, they were my dark horse. They were my
yeah.
They were my dark horse.
I mean, Godwin's a pretty good slot guy,
Yeah.
So this guy played 17 games last year. He played 50. Okay, he's relatively healthy, other than 2019.
That's what I'm saying.
He has a resilient. He had 79 catches last year, which is pretty good.
Compared to Keenan Allen, I would definitely, if I'm a team that's in the precipice of like actually being a Super Bowl team, even maybe like Detroit, to have one extra player, like a go-get-him guy, because Goff is not, he's serviceable, and the one thing he can do is throw the ball, then maybe get him that guy, right?
somebody that's a player way. Yeah, he's a guy that I would pay him some money now because he's still very productive. Maybe an $18 to $22 million. Like you said, maybe a Detroit, somebody like that. Now,
or even Baltimore. Baltimore don't, they don't.
Well, they may. Yeah, I think they only had Beckham on 1 year deal.
Yeah, if you don't want to pick up OJ, Beckham.
OJ Simpson must be thinking about you.
OBJ, if you want to pick him up, you can be like, all right, bro, I'm gonna get a
because I think he only had a 1 year deal. So
right, so and maybe think about Evans, a 2 to 3 year deal.
You play him off Zay Flowers, that would be a pretty good play for Baltimore. Well, what about Houston? They were in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, another team too, like
Kansas City's been brought up.
And you give Stroud somebody to throw to, he could throw to, like,
Yeah, even though his young guys, he had chemistry with them too.
Right, and here's the thing: Mike Evans allows you to throw the ball in the air and not be scared. Because he go up there and get it. He helped Brady a lot. I mean, again, people always. Brady was smart about throwing the ball, but he threw it.
I won quite a few fantasy games with him. So, it's going back to Baker. If I could get him to sign a Geno Smith type of deal, if I get Mike Evans for 18 to 22, I would probably push for that. I would probably push for that. You are up there in Giants land. Do the Giants keep Saquon Barkley? Chad says maybe he goes to Houston.
Yeah, I can see.
Actually, I heard that rumor too earlier this week.
Yeah, and if I'm Barkley, I go to a team that's ready to win. He's earned it as far as like coming back from injury and everything. Houston's would be a good place for him to solidify that offense. Maybe if I'm him, I'm like, forget what my agent says. I'm gonna make a quick phone call. I'll be in La La Land and over there playing for the Chargers because Chargers they're not bringing back Eckler.
Right. Now I did hear that maybe the Chargers would want to have a guy like a Barkley.
And you know what? They got an owner that's willing to pay. So
Singletary is nowhere near the player of a Barkley, but Singletary had a good year last year.
Yeah, but
with Houston. I forgot about Pierce, though. Yeah, I don't know. Houston may want to go other places on second. This is a huge running back free agency, by the way.
But they're not going to. The problem is who's going to pay for them, and you got to.
Right. Well, yeah, you won't. I mean, we got Derrick Henry, Dallas, and Baltimore are the favorites there. I don't think Barkley would go. Barkley may very well be a LA Charger, but before it's all said and done. Or maybe Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, the thing with Jacobs, I can see Jacobs going to the Dallas Cowboys. I think that would be a fit for him.
That is. I can't believe these kind of guys. Here's my list right here. Santa's list. I'm checking it twice. These guys are unbelievable, man. DeAndre Swift is a free agency.
Yeah, these are like top 10 running backs. But the problem
all the top running backs in the league other than McCaffrey's available.
Right. So you got like
him and Taylor's just re-signed with the Colts,
Right.
So
Taylor should have held out one more season. He held out this season. He would have been okay because
he likes running behind Quentin Nelson. You saw how good, even with the backup quarterback, they're still running the ball.
Yeah,
Zach Moss had a career year.
It was terrible that he got injured toward the end of the season. But
but he's durable. He'll come back. He's tough, man.
Yeah,
Dallas will probably pick up one of these guys. I don't know if Pollard is still. Pollard was never really 100% last year. He never really recovered from the injury prior to that. So Barkley may be in a Cowboy uniform. It's not a lock that Henry will go to Dallas.
If I'm Barkley, I don't feel like, because you've been in division, so is Dallas the easiest way to get to a playoff game? And I think it's not. I think the best way to get into a playoff game would be in the AFC West, and that would be through the Chargers.
The Chargers, and of course, the Raiders are going to bring another back there because they're not the lesser you have at quarterback. By the way, people hadn't really thought about this. I just now think about when we're talking about it. the Titans may actually sign a running back too.
I
I know they got Spears, but they may go cheaper and get one of these other running backs.
Yeah, and
it's younger than it's like Henry's like 30 years old.
The better deal would be to go to the Chargers because somebody over there is a better proficient quarterback, and Barkley does like to catch and run. He's proven that he can do it.
Well,
so.
Yeah, and Harbaugh loves these physical running back. That's his thing. And plus, he may draft one of those Michigan. That Edwards guy, if he's still available later. Now, Corm may be off the board, but he may draft one of those Michigan running backs.
I think Corm's a crapshoot, like Caleb Williams. I think it's just the college hype.
Because he comes back from that injury from the year before last.
Right. So, like, I don't, like you're NFL. If you draft them and just play them 2 or 3 seasons, if that's what you want to do with these guys, that's up to you. But don't waste a pick if that's something that you don't want to do, right? So, it's not really a waste of pick, but it's like it's not. I don't want to make it sound like I'm whatever. They're just different pawns of the game, but it's just for a team to not get anything out of a draft pick is just to me ridiculous. Like you got to use that to your best advantage. So,
it's well, as far as the draft is concerned, I tell you that guy from Missouri. Don't be surprised if he doesn't fall in like the 4th or 5th round and be like a really good player. You remember that running back from Missouri last year? Runs with authority, man.
Oh yeah. Nobody's talking about him, and he led the college football for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Man, he ran all over Ohio State.
But that's
in the bowl game.
Here's a problem with him in Missouri. Here's the biggest problem is that
he might not have a good 40 time though.
That he's a small guy, and he's more about quickness than he is about speed. Right.
Like
he
runs with power though.
The problem is most teams, and I mentioned this, and I'll say this, and I'll keep saying this, that most teams suffer in having an O-line to even create those kind of holes.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what that guy's name was. He ran all over Tennessee, man.
Oh, he ran all over everybody in the SEC.
Cody Schrader. 5'9", 215 pounds of muscle.
Bro, 200.
He's got that kind of name, Schrader.
Yeah, he got that. It's not the muscle, man. It's the persistence. And consistency. Like he don't care if he gets 2 yards. He don't care if he loses 10. He end up gonna get 70 to 100 yards every game. Like because to him just give me the ball. Like let me do my job. Like
he's very old school.
Yeah. Very old.
The defensive coaches will love him. Tampa may draft him to run him behind Rashard White.
Ooh.
Look,
if anybody
unless you got at quarterback, the more you need at running back.
If anybody picks up Schrader, man, get the guy a fullback, like a nice fullback.
Like a Kyle Juszczyk. Like
he will tear. You need like a you need like a Rothman type of fullback back there, or like a Train. Remember the Train?
Who?
The Tony Richardson.
Tony Richardson. Yeah, he could catch too.
And just boom, just
Lorenzo Neal.
Yeah,
well, Neal couldn't catch like Richardson was money though.
Yeah,
like, Richardson was good, man. Let me ask you. Let's see.
I like that Schrader. That's a good one. That's a good one, Rob. Nobody's talking about him, but that's a good.
Schrader. So okay, I was telling the audience here. A week from now, we're going to have the NFL combines. I hope that he shows up, Schrader. And I'm curious of if he runs like a 4.5 or better. I'm not saying he's going to run 4.4. Was he on
the
Senior Bowl?
No, the Senior Bowl. Yeah, was he in the Senior Bowl?
I don't think he was.
Man,
but if he did, I didn't hear about it. They were just talking about the quarterbacks.
Yo, they always do. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna do some research.
Yeah, Schrader is the guy that, because this is not a big running back draft, but I just mentioned to you guys the free agencies. I've never heard of a free agent class like this. With Barkley and Derrick Henry.
I'll tell you what, he got the possibility of being someone like what was this guy's name that played for the Buccaneers? He kind of reminds me.
Allstott?
No, the small guy. The
not Barber, but
no.
Back when they were decent, but they wasn't great.
Derek Warrick Dunn.
Warrick Dunn, yeah.
Well, he kind of played
like Jansen.
No, Warwick Dunn, man. Like, just beat, like,
I think Warwick used to run behind Allstott.
Yeah, he ran behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he kind of reminded me, just jumping around and hitting holes and, boom, he gets stopped, he get back up, get 3 more yards, and all of a sudden he breaks for 10, 15 yards. You're like, what? This guy is crazy.
Yeah, he's got some Walter Payton. I just don't. The only thing I would be concerned about is his speed. Because the NFL's quicker,
right? And his breakaway speed wasn't. He was catchable, but
he kind of reminds me of Pacheco a little bit. Pacheco runs with that authority like that.
I think this guy got more of a pinball. He got more of a beep beep, like a Pacheco's more like
maybe a Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This guy's a white dude.
They got nothing to do with them, man.
That means he can't run. No, well, I'll take that back. McCaffrey. Let's go back about 8 years. McCaffrey had a really good combine. I remember reading about McCaffrey. I'm like, man, this dude runs like a 4.4. And I remember thinking McCaffrey is going to go. He's going to be drafted very high. Because we already knew he could catch out of Stanford. Didn't he go to Stanford?
McCaffrey, yeah. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
he went to Stanford.
Yeah, he's Stanford. I keep thinking it was at USC. I think it was Stanford.
No, his mom, because he went where his mom played soccer at.
Yeah. Remember that other white dude that went to Stanford? He never really became that good. He was a running back. I thought he was going to be really good out of Stanford. He went to Jacksonville. He faded out. But I thought McCaffrey, his dad, I knew his dad, Eddie McCaffrey. My dad hated him. Because he was a big
goofy
Bronco hater because he loved the Raiders back in the day. And Eddie McCaffrey used to torch everybody with Elway. But that's his dad, And, of course, Mike Shanahan coached his dad. It's ironic. Cal Shanahan, his son's coaching Eddie McCaffrey's son, but Christian McCaffrey ran a 4.4, and we knew we could. So I was surprised he's having this kind of success.
This Schrader guy,
49ers.
Yeah, look at this Schrader guy. Like, I just looked up some of his.
Schrader, if he can run, he don't have to run McCaffrey speed, but if he can run 4.5, he might get drafted in the third. Hey, what about the Titan? The Saints. What about the Saints when they drafted our guy from Tennessee in the 3rd or 4th round? Who's their starting running back? Nobody. We knew he could play. He played with Jennings. What's his name?
Kamara.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara. Yeah. But I was like, man, he because they thought Kamara was undersized.
Right.
They thought he was undersized, man.
So he did go to the Senior Bowl. His speed was 4.6.
Kamara? Yeah.
No. Schrader.
Really?
Yeah. So he's 4.6.
If he gets, I would like to see the Titans drafting him. Maybe in the 3rd or 4th. He's probably not going to be drafted early because I'm not hearing any buzz on it. But man, he killed it last year.
I know, and his measurables are actually pretty good. He's scored 80 out of 100 in some of these measurables that they have in scouting reports. That's crazy.
He weighs a lot. He's 5'9", by the way.
The problem is his height, right? His height and his weight. So, again,
Emmitt Smith was only 5'10".
Yeah, but here's the thing about a guy who's small and runs like him. You can't be stuck. You got to have Orlando Pace on your team, man. You can't be stuck with some.
Yeah, you need a Trent Williams.
Yeah, you need big people.
That's why the Titans need to get one of those tackles early.
Yeah.
If he's a Titan. I'd love a guy like that to be a Titan.
Now, this guy, he reminds me more of Curtis Martin than Marshall Faulk.
Martin, that's a compliment.
Because
Faulk had more speed, but
yeah, exactly. Martin
was consistent though, man.
Yeah, and so
man.
Yeah,
but Parcells said, "Hey, listen, man, you get out of that huddle. You don't know who's gonna get in there." And Curtis Martin's like, "Shit, I took that to heart, man. I ain't never getting out of that huddle. I have all kinds of concussions. I'm still running that route. Just tell me which way to run." And I think Curtis made the Hall of Fame too.
Yeah, I think
Curtis
so.
Martin. So what's your thoughts about this Caitlin Clark hype, dude? I actually watched her whole game the other day. She's really exciting to watch, man.
Yeah, and she's allowed to have a bad game or two, and she looked tired.
She did get beat the other day.
Yeah, her legs. You could tell when she was shooting that her legs were giving off on her. But she did, even if she didn't make all her shots at the end, and she tried to get the team back. The team they played, who did they play? Ohio? No, who did they play?
Indiana, I think.
Indiana, yeah, Indiana. When they played,
one of a little Gary Payton chick, she put the glove on her, but the girl still had 30 points, but they lost though.
No. She played a good game. It's not hype. She's a good player. Looks like she's tired. She looks like maybe.
Does she get your attention? I mean, I watched the whole game. Not the one they lost. The one against Nebraska where she had like 40. Dude, she could shoot from it. She's like Steph Curry out there.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, right. And the one thing I kind of was like with the game that they played Indiana the other night. I think it was last night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They you know who she is, but I think a player can carry a team, but you can't depend on a player to win you the game. So when there was shots that they were just feeding her the ball, there was times where they could have just attacked the basket instead of having to try to shoot threes, which she was shooting at the end because they were towards the end of because they were trying to catch up. Yeah, so
they'll show up on the film,
and I feel like she when she got off the court, she felt like maybe it was too much. It's a little bit too much. Like you can only do so much. So if you got a person like that, like on a team that can take over a game, you have to let them take over the game. You can't just give them the ball and be like, take over the game, right?
Yeah, that's true. She's only 5'11" too, man. Yeah,
and if she gives you the ball, take advantage of because there's 2 or 3 people on her anyways.
Right. She's a good passer.
Yeah. So you get the ball, you turn around, pump. Why are you pump faking? Take it straight. Like these girls that she plays with.
And she's averaging 8-10 assists a game too. I mean, they
need to.
She's not a total ball hog like it's been made out.
Yeah, no, she's not a ball hog, not at all. I don't think. She knows she can make the shot. She's given up. I think I've seen her give up more shots than she should have. But again, if you're gonna give up the shot that you know you can make, your teammate has to make that move. Yeah. Right? Like if me and you're I'm the point guard, you're the shooter.
Yeah.
And we both are good shooters. If I'm drawing a double team and I give you the ball, why are you gonna bounce pass it back to me once you get somebody? You can beat the person off the dribble and you can attack the basket. You don't have to necessarily.
Are you okay with her taking those long shots like that?
But she can make
that's
the problem.
See, we grew up on an era where it was really, you get balked. The coach will bark at you for that, but Steph Curry, he's changed all that, man.
I mean,
he started that in Davidson.
How many games did we play together? We both of us can shoot the ball.
Yeah, I could shoot. Yeah,
both of us can shoot. Like
I used to wear it out at the Y when I played for the Y when I was 14. But every 3 I shot, I hit, but I didn't shoot that many because I know the coach would get on to me for getting 3 happy.
No, but even when we played,
but that was 90s. That I guess we're in a different era. But she's a lot like Steph, man. And do you think they could get to the Final Four this year? I mean, I don't watch that much college women's either.
I think they're gonna be a run. I don't know if she's gonna. Again, a player with that mentality, your teammate has to appreciate. Your teammates have to appreciate that player, but also work for that player.
Yeah,
right? Like she will take over a game, but the game will come to her. You don't give her and try to force her to take over the game. Because that's not how that works, right?
Well, she got the scoring title now, so she don't really need to press no more.
Yeah, I like her. I like how she plays, but I think her teammate need to support her a little bit.
Do you think she'll be a star in the next level?
Yeah, and if she doesn't play here, she can always play in Europe and make money. Like, she's someone like the women. They go.
Did you hear where like Lisa or Cheryl Swoops? She walked back those comments. She's like, "Oh, my bad. I didn't realize you only played 4 years and you got the title." And she's trying to say that she scored 40 points because she was taking 40 shots. And somebody corrected her and said, "No, she's actually taking like 22 shots. She's shooting over 50%. and she's shooting from the popcorn stand, you know?
Yeah, listen, not for nothing, but if
she apologized.
If Cheryl Swoops ever says anything, it don't matter because she's like, you know, one of the GOATs for women's basketball. Like,
yeah,
you know, what she was able to accomplish. I mean, that goes not like Cheryl Swoops was a nice player, man.
She walked it back. Walked it back.
I'm sure, you know, there's players that say things about other players and they'll, you know, correct themselves. But I like this player. I like what she can do. And I feel like she needs to be able to tell her team, be like, okay, this is where I'm at. Like if she don't communicate it, then in any kind of way, whether just be making extra passes. I saw her make extra passes, and I was like, just tell them you're tired. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like,
I've seen her get fatigued a couple of times. Yeah. I can't believe I'm even watching this chick, but she's really interesting, man.
No,
I mean, they had Gus Johnson calling her games the other day. I mean, she's really got a buzz going.
Yeah, and listen,
I'm ready.
Her or even
ratings
females
were higher than some of the NBA games.
Yeah. No, if you guys are females out there, you know, you want to see basketball like at its purest form, where the opportunities aren't like the NBA, where just, you know, like it's good to watch college basketball, male and female, and just get an idea that how basketball.
But don't you think she's the biggest star in all of college right now? Like the men, nobody's even heard of the top men's player this year.
I think she's taken away. The media's given her the platform, and she's taken off with it. And but these guys who are. The problem with the men's is there are like 3 or 4 guys that are going back and forth and fighting for the best player and most points and all that.
Yeah. I looked this up the other day, man. They got this guy from Colorado that's supposed to be the top college player. The other players that's going to be in the draft, 2 of them for France and 1 guy's from the G League. So that's a whole nother discussion. Go ahead and plug the show. Are you coming back to Are You Serious next week? With,
we'll be back. Keith is back from his trip to
Tupac's back.
Yeah, he keeps back from his around the world in 15 days. I'm glad that he's back.
Made it across the world in that hot air balloon.
Yeah, man. He next time he should take me. I'll speak Spanish for him wherever he goes. He's doing right. We're gonna be on TGI Sports every Friday morning, 9:00. I'll be there on Wednesdays. Got a show with the NFL East Roundup with Alan, and then on LTS and Northeast Streaming Sports, and then on Friday with you.
Yeah.
Nights. And I've got
your ex is the Mad NY. I've got XApp, man. Y'all hardly see you on XApp.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to get all that fixed right now. And then Tuesdays at 9:00, Mr. Viente, former high school player here locally, guy I know really well. We're going to talk baseball, going to talk shop.
Let me know. Let me know. I'll tune in, man.
Yeah, Tuesdays at 9:00. So y'all check it out.
Chad.
So yeah, Chad, enjoy your sports this weekend. Yo, NASCAR's big this weekend, so you guys catch that, yo.
Yeah. Well, it got delayed, but they finally finished it on Monday, man.
Yeah, so
that's good stuff, man. Right. Carlos, Mad New York, or Chavez, he's on the XApp. So X gonna give it to you.
Yeah,
first we're gonna rock, then we're gonna roll.
Oh, Mr. Rough Riders.
You remember that, don't you?
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good one. Thank you, Chad. Let me go ahead and end this thing before I run out of time.